Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagat Guru Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to our 12 Alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi. And I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally and internationally, and I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted on YouTube and the various groups from around the world. We welcome Lord Ram, Mother Sita, and all the Devis and Devatas, together with Lord Ram's 4 expansions that took part in a historical event as recent as 2 million years ago in Treta Yug on this, our planet Earth. Whenever there is a rise in the power of demons, the Lord incarnates. Whenever there is a rise in the power of demons, the Lord takes his birth. Whenever the demons start overriding the Devis and Devatas, the Lord takes his birth. When the Lord takes his birth, he negotiates with the demon. He negotiates with the demon, and when the demon refuses to adhere to the Lord does not keel over. The Lord does not keel over. The Lord only takes his birth when the Devis and Devatas are threatened and overpowered by demons and demonic powers. When human demons take their birth, and when human demons try to override divine humans, then gurus take their birth. Then gurus take their birth. And guru is not supposed to keel over. Sanatan Dharma is not based on the Gandhian philosophy. That is Mahatma Gandhi, an ordinary human being. He was neither a guru nor a saint. His philosophy does not work in Sanatan Dharma. When the Supreme Lord takes his birth, and when his institution of dharmic principles is tampered with, he catches the squeaky demon by his ears and he gives that demon a terrible thrashing of his life. God does not keel over. Lord Sriman Narayan never keeled over. But first there is a negotiation. In the Ramayana, is there a negotiation? Did Lord Ram negotiate in the Ramayana with Ravna? And what did Ravna do? What did Ravna do? Did he adhere? Did Lord Sri Krishna negotiate with the demons? Did they adhere? And what did Lord Krishna do? Demons must be annihilated. Demons must be annihilated after negotiation stops. After negotiation stops, demons must be annihilated. Because demons are cancerous. Demons are cancerous. If you allow that cell to grow, if you allow a demonic cell to grow, that demonic cell will have a negative effect on the dharmic principles. So let me backtrack. I am a disciple of my Guru, Swami Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj, who hails from the Sri Sampradaya, the Sri Ramanuj Sampradaya. His spirituality and his work in humanity was so great that for the very first time in the Sri Sampradaya in 1998 at the Maha Kumbh Mela, he was appointed as Jagat Guru by all the saints and sages at the Maha Kumbh Mela unanimously. That has never happened before and never happened again, which means my Guru's status quo continues to exist as Jagat Guru. My Guru instructed me to create a divine society. He instructed me to expound Lord Narayan as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He instructed me to expound the Guru principle comprehensively, and he instructed me to teach the world who Lord Sri Ramanuj is. And he instructed me to defend my teachings that I expound. These are instructions from the only Guru in the Sri Sampradaya that was unanimously appointed Jagat Guru by the Sri Sampradaya itself and other saints and sages at the Maha Kumbh Mela in 1998. Have you ever heard me saying this before? Have you ever heard me saying this since 2015 when I went public with my discourses? Did I ever say this in any discourse? I've never stated this. Today is the first day I am giving you the profile of my spiritual master. He is well known across the length and breadth of India. My Guru, my spiritual master, can turn this earth upside down. My Guru can turn this earth upside down. And whichever Guru in the Sri Sampradaya is currently existent today that met Guruji and knows of Guruji, knew Guruji had the power to convert anything into anything. Shravan, put your phone off and listen to this discourse. My Guru had the power to convert anything into anything. And I've shown you and I've stated how he converted a 7-year-old girl child, a 7-month-old girl child into a boy child. This is my Guru. He converted ghee into water into ghee in the presence of thousands of people. His greatness is known to every bona fide Guru and disciple in the Sri Sampradaya. Every bona fide Guru and disciple in the Sri Sampradaya, Guruji's spiritual potency has not been equaled yet. Has not been equaled yet. And his status quo continues to remain as Jagat Guru. Guruji's Sri Siddhartha Ashram in Haryana, Faridabad. In Haryana, in Faridabad, was inaugurated by Sri Chinna Jayar Swami. Sri Chinna Jayar Swami and Gautam Acharya. And Gautam Acharya, who is a disciple of Swami Sri Chinna Jayar, who just inaugurated the Statue of Equality in Hyderabad, India, recently, a month ago. This ashram at 28 Dunstaple Crescent, Reservoir Hills, was inaugurated as per Pancharatra Agama scriptures by Gautam Acharya. Gautam Acharya inaugurated Sri Siddhartha Ashram of my spiritual master, and he also inaugurated the Sri Narayan Dham International, which is the only bona fide Sri Sampradaya Ashram on the entire African continent, let alone South Africa. Let alone South Africa. In or on 6th and 7th of January, the Sri Narayan Dham International, for the very first time in a world first, held a 24-hour continuous Lord Narayan awareness worldwide in the world. When I gave my discourse in that 24 hours, I asked people to go on Google. It's there. It's evidence. It's evidence. And I asked people to find out who Lord Narayan is. Because when I went on Google and Wikipedia, there was an 8-liner information on who Lord Narayan is. 8-liner. Since then, go on Google now, go on Wikipedia now, and type in Lord Narayan and see the substantive spiritual difference that the Sri Narayan Dham have injected in this planet Earth. The substantive difference from the 6th and 7th, from the 6th and 7th of January 2018 to today, just in 4 years, the Sri Narayan Dham has infused in the world the status of Lord Sriman Narayan, the status of the Guru principle, the status of Lord Sri Ramanuj. There is no single institution in this world that have broadcasted in the past years. No single institution have broadcasted in the past 3 years the quantum of information on Lord Narayan and Lord Sri Ramanuj. Lord Narayan and Lord Sri Ramanuj. This ashram is not tucked somewhere in North or South India where everyone is unknown. This is a bona fide ashram that can be experienced in any corner of the globe. This discourse is being broadcast and will eventually will reach 48 countries around the world. This broadcast itself and every other broadcast. There is no single institution that have reached the quantum that I am stating in just 4 years. In just 4 years, and we continue to lead. We continue to lead in our zest, or in my zest as a disciple to fulfill my instructions by both my own spiritual master, Swami Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. He instructed me to create a divine society, and I was instructed by Lord Sri Ramanuj to integrate society irrespective of color, race, creed or religion. And stats will show you that again the Sri Narayan Dham is the only ashram in the world that have brought blacks, whites, coloreds, Indians, Muslims, Christians and Sanatan Dharmis all together over 20 times in 1 year. And you all are part and parcel of this. I'm talking to our physical devotees. And we continue full steam in pushing the agenda of the Sri Ramanuj Sampradaya as long as I have, and I will continue with my last breath. I will continue with my last breath. Now, after giving you all of these stats, but before I ask you that question, why is Ravna called the 10-headed Ravna? Ravna was a scholar. Hiranyakasipu was a scholar. Scholars are dangerous. Okay. Put the lights off outside. Leave this light on. Yeah, put most of the lights off. Just check if the lights are on in the neighborhood. Okay, we're taking a short break because our solar is beeping. No lights. This is the power of Ravna, because I'm discussing Ravna. This is the power of Ravna. Might just see Vasan walking in. All right. Ravna was a Vedic scholar. Hiranyakasipu was a Vedic scholar. They mastered the Vedas, but they misinterpreted the injunctions, because there's a difference between a scholar and a guru. There's a difference between a scholar and a guru. A scholar learns the Vedas. A scholar learns the Vedas on the surface. A guru realizes the conclusions of the Vedas. A guru realizes the conclusions of the Vedas, and when he realizes the conclusions of the Vedas, he is in God consciousness. He is in God consciousness. His attributive conscious. His attributive conscious connects to the attributive conscious of the Supreme Lord, and he is in God consciousness. A scholar's attributive consciousness is still contracted. Is still contracted with anger, hatred, jealousy, pride, and envy. These demonic vices, can only be converted, through self-realization. A scholar cannot undergo self-realization. All a scholar can have is technical knowledge of the scriptures. A bona fide disciple of the Sri Sampradaya, will live within the parameters of the Sri Sampradaya. Now, I've stated that Ravna was a scholar, and he was the 10-headed scholar because he learnt the 4 Vedas and the 6 Shastras. There's also a Ravna Samhita. Hiranyakasipu, also a scholar of the Vedas. When you read the Vedas from the surface, you become a scholar. Vedic knowledge is not researched. It is revealed. Vedic knowledge cannot be researched. When you research Vedic knowledge, then you're a scholar. When Vedic knowledge is revealed to you, then you're a spiritual master. All of you understand the difference. And these Ravnas. Now I want to ask you, if you are a university graduate, from South Africa, and you are in India, and you take a initiation in the Sri Sampradaya, and you learn that there is a Sri Sampradaya ashram in South Africa, and you have taken initiation. So you're a university graduate, you have taken initiation, your surname is Ramanuj, and you learn that in South Africa, the very first Ramanuj ashram on the African continent exists 30 or 40 kilometers from where you live. what must be your very first emotion and feeling if you are an initiated disciple? What you are supposed to feel? Because South Africa has no Sri Sampradaya ashrams. This is the first inaugurated, as per Pancharatra Agama instructions. What should be your reaction if you are a bona fide disciple and you took your discipleship in India? How would you feel? What your emotions should be? You would be a proud South African that there is an ashram affiliated to Lord Sri Ramanuj in your own country. In your own country. That is if you are a bona fide disciple. If after I have substantively and comprehensively explained to you today on this discourse, all what I have stated is on our website. This is not new information. I'm doing this discourse for a specific reason today. Everything is on our website. You're a 21-year-old student, 3 years in university. You have taken initiation. If you want to teach this Guru, if you want to teach this Guru, after gleaning all the information that we have invested in this world since our birth as the Sri Narayan Dham International, then who you are? What's the difference between you and Ravna? Because Ravna disturbed dharmic principles. You, a 21-year-old university student, you form an organization from thin air. You calling yourself Sri Vaishnava Association. I don't want to mention names today because I'm going to catch this little rat tomorrow. I'm going to catch this rat tomorrow. I asked him to watch this discourse today. And I told Vishwadhar, he was rude to Vishwadhar. Vishwadhar is an internationally recognized Swami. Vishwadhar is a Swami of international status and is the chairperson of this organization. Vishwadhar has visited South India the previous year. He's visited and made relationships through many ashrams in South India, including Chinnajaya Swami's ashram. And I asked him, if this little rat do not meet me with his parents tomorrow, then I'm going to give his name and I'm going to spread his name through every Sri Vaishnava ashram in India. I have capacity to do that. he was upset because I did not give him a platform to preach here last week Sunday. And he has so much of knowledge on the Vedas that he said, from the 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu, just one name will take him 1.5 hours. He was insisting to come and preach at this ashram, and that is not Guru protocol. That is not Guru protocol. I stopped Vishwadhar because this is not a disciple. I'm a guru, I know. I know. This is a scholar. This is a scholar. And no scholar in the Sri Sampradaya can preach in the presence of a in-house guru. That is not spiritual ethics. That is not spiritual ethics. When I went to Chinnajaya Swami's ashram, he gave me an open mandate on Sri Krishna Janma Astami to talk. I spoke for only 1 minute. I spoke for because spiritual ethics won't allow me, in the presence of a senior guru, to discuss substantive spirituality. So he says he has one Diksha Guru, and he said his Diksha Guru told him that his credentials are secret, but he has a few Siksha Gurus. What did he learn from his Siksha Gurus? What did he learn from his Siksha Gurus? If this rat does not contact me and meet me with his parents, and I'm saying this to the world beside him, that I won't tolerate an attack on myself, because an attack on myself is an attack on my Guru. An attack on my Guru is an attack on the Sri Sampradaya, and I have not tolerated many people attack the Sri Sampradaya. Go to my YouTube discourses. There's a very huge international organization that attacked the Sri Sampradaya, and I went all out for them. And this rat is only 40 or 30 kilometers away. He must look out of his window and see if my men are already there or not. He must look out of his window, he must do research and see who this Acharya Sham Ramanuj is. This is not a Gandhian guru you find in India, playing harmonium, and if you look at them hard, they fall. This guru will wake you up. This guru will definitely wake you up. So if he does not comply, I have details of his university. I asked Vishwadhar to record all his conversations. And his arrogance, if I have to play it out here today, his Siksha Gurus will start running. His Siksha Gurus will start running when they hear this rat's arrogance to Swami Vishwadhar Ramanuj Das. Swami Vishwadhar Ramanuj does. So we screenshot, he deleted his post. Yesterday I gave him 1 hour to delete his post. He deleted his post. He sent me an apology, but a conditional apology. A conditional apology. Then he is undermining our status. And for that sake, if this is not settled, would his parents, he is too small for me to settle. If it is not settled with his parents tomorrow, then he is in a problem. Because I told Vishwadhar, when Vishwadhar told me that he was arrogant, I told Vishwadhar when the day he is flying to India, I'll go to the airport and I'll give him such a hard boot, he'll beat the aeroplane in landing in India. Okay? Because it is this type of people in Tamogun that brings the reputation of Sanatan Dharma down. So tomorrow I'm going to read you his post. He hasn't wiped behind his 2 ears yet, but is not happy with Brahmins in South African temples. 21 years. Is that what his parents are teaching him? He's attacking South African priests. A 21-year-old child is attacking South African priests. I spent 10 years in the military. I spent nearly my entire life in legal. In legal. I can institute a case tomorrow and make sure that the case keeps him in South Africa for a while. I know how to manipulate law. This is how he is disrespecting the Guru Parampara and the Guru system. If I let this cancer grow, it will spread in the Sri Sampradaya, because they already, him and a group of students, university students, believe that they are governing the Sri Sampradaya. This is how they are spread. And I'm going to expose them. So Lord Ram does not enter the material atmosphere for nothing. And every Ram Navami, Amita, there was some Ravna that I extracted from society. Every Ram Navami, we extracted some Ravna to keep the Sri Sampradaya real and to keep the Ramayan real. Are there any questions? Sita, will you talk to this boy? Jai Sri Narayan.